All right, welcome back to Big Bad Boris's 40-hour extreme extravaganza, and it is time for a block that I am super excited about. I would like to welcome, and I appreciate taking time out of their very busy schedule, Veda Scott. Veda, what's going on?
Hello. Sorry, I was trying to take a selfie. Is my microphone okay?
You sound great. You handle your business.
Well, I'm trying to advertise the stream, but
I appreciate you.
there we go. All right, hold on. Let me
you look so comfy. I'm so jealous.
Yes. Okay, so here's the thing. It is Saturday, and I am entirely off today. This is my home that I am in my Mike Wazowski onesie. This is a very, very rare occurrence for me, and I'm enjoying it. I had something get rescheduled earlier in the day, and I have this tonight at, what time is it now? 7. Which I was like all day. I'm like, remember, it's 7 o'clock Eastern. Because I would see it in Mountain Time. It is, right?
Yeah.
So I am here. Speedball, who is not here. That's the funny thing. I was like, oh, it's so weird. We're both off on a Saturday night, but Mike is not off. Clearly, Mike is about to have a match on Collision, but usually Mike would be off on a Saturday. We don't know. It changes every week. But anyway, I'm here. I'm excited about the stream. I'm chilling. And I just invented a new soda.
Oh, what do we got?
This is an exclusive, guys. Okay,
right.
So what is in the cup is a Coke Zero. It's a holiday vanilla that they're selling here in the States, but it's basically just a vanilla Coke, right? There it is. That's it. You got it too. Okay.
I do.
Well, what I put into this Coke Zero, though, is like I said, Mike and I just moved, and so something that I've been setting up is like a beverage station, because I'm a little beverage goblin. We've got like the espresso machine. We've also got sugar-free sodas for the coffees, cookie butter soda syrup.
Oh, okay.
But I'm thinking anything like kind of cinnamony would be good. Anyway, that's how I've spent my night tonight, Boris. I've been working on some stuff. I've been checking in on the stream, and I have been making sodas, festive holiday sodas.
That's fabulous. I'm shocked that you don't have a booking. I feel very lucky that you're actually open and had some time
Yes,
to do
you are.
So.
You are all joining me in our new home, which, based on just this little screen you're seeing, actually makes it look like we're moved in incomplete, but we're not. It's just this little area. This is not like, I don't have a permanent streaming setup. This is literally just the couch. So it's an illusion of
you guys are living in boxes.
And you're here. Yes.
What town is home, if that's none of my business?
We're in Pennsylvania, so we're about an hour north of Philadelphia, that side of Pennsylvania. Hold on, I took the selfie and then I didn't tweet the selfie. Hold on. I had a tweet prepared. I just needed the photo. Let's see. Yeah, that looks good. We'll go with that. All right, hold on. I'm advertising this as a live drawing power, so we'll get to that eventually, I promise.
I appreciate you. Yes, I am on our, 19?
Hour 19, so almost halfway.
Yeah, so if you look behind me, you can see on the ridiculously expensive Boristron 5000, we got the countdown going on behind me. So I got 20 hours and 49 minutes to go.
And you are, interestingly enough, doing a countdown, not a count up.
Yes, I thought it'd be fun to kind of count down. I kind of, yeah. So, it's basically... Go ahead.
The new, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the link here correct. But think about when the ball drops on New Year's, right? Mm-hmm. You're counting down.
Exactly.
Very exciting. All right, hold on.
So while you're doing that, I'll just explain real quick again. The reason I'm doing this is to raise money for the local Edmonton chapter of the Canadian Mental Health Association, a organization that is near and dear to my heart and has helped me through some troubled times. So I wanted to raise some money for them and some awareness as well, especially for men, that it is okay to not be okay. It is okay to reach out for help. So you don't have to go through things alone. I set my a reasonable goal at 1,250 Canadian dollars. We are at 2,060 right now, so I'm very pleased. We're crushing the goal. We're having a lot of fun, and I'm a terrible artist. I actually went through and we looked. on the stream earlier, we had Zoe Sager was hanging out with us a little bit earlier, and we went and we looked at the pictures that you guys drew of Bret Hart when you were here in Edmonton.
Yes.
We had some fun with that. So what are we doing here? What are we drawing?
Okay. So basically, first of all, let me explain the premise of. So I do this little YouTube show, Drawing Power. It's been on a bit of an unplanned hiatus as of late, because I just haven't had the opportunity to do any of the interviews. But basically, so I'm glad to be doing this one with you, Boris. Also, I have another episode coming soon, but this is the newest in terms of like the actual release continuity. This is the latest Drawing Power. There's
Fabulous
footage in the can, but I would say that if we're looking at the timeline, this is the newest one. So this is we're back from hiatus and live. Basically, I also cannot draw anything. Like I have trouble getting the idea from my head onto the paper. So, and I also want to do some little like interview type, conversational type things. But you know, with like an activity during it, because you know, like you keep your hands busy. I don't know. I think it makes for a better conversation.
Of course, I agree.
But anyway, so basically, we either have you got the paper. So I usually hand out a pad of paper, and you got colored pencils. I have here the Drawing Power crayons right here.
Oh, fabulous. Okay.
And basically, what we do is we just have a chat while we draw whatever the prompt is for that day. Sometimes I come up with a prompt. Sometimes we've had a prompt submitted. Other times, and what I'm probably going to do here right now is I'll just open up they have these little like idea wheels that I'll use sometimes for like prompts for like drawing things. Let me see here. Okay, so there's one here called What to Draw When You're Bored. And so when I use this, so the ads keep popping up because like I'm not gonna pay for this.
Of course.
Eventually we'll be able to hit spin. Okay. And then the way that it works is it spins. We get the idea. And if it sucks, we just do it again.
Okay. So, I'm on board.
Okay. This is a Minecraft character, which we're doing again because I have no idea what on earth that means. Those
I'm
are
50,
words that
dude.
I'm out. I don't know. That was the one there was a movie with Jack Black that I think was heavily featured into like the AEW aesthetic for like a week or two.
That's right. They did that. You're absolutely right.
That was my like first initiation. All right, we're doing this again. Spin. Oh, nope. Well, let me click through some ads. All right. And we're going.
All right.
A shiny diamond. These all suck. I don't know. Hold on. Let me see if any of these are good. Your favorite flower. An animal's always good. So like all of these are very strange. Someone in a dinosaur costume. Not a dinosaur. Someone.
Would you just draw
I don't know. A clown, specifically from the circus. These are bad. Hold on. Let me. I thought that I would spin the wheel. We get something great. Nope. A lie. How could the internet let me down?
I know. I'm shocked as well.
So the other thing about as we get to this prompt, because the drawing part is the least important part of Drawing Power, it's just to have a little bit of a chat. It's just to have a little bit of a talk a little bit of wrestling, talk a little bit about stuff we got going on. But you've been doing an awful lot of talking in the past. What is it?
19 hours. Yeah.
So I don't know, like how much of a conversation you want to have, or do you want to just chill? And
I would love
none
to
of these
chat
make any sense.
I would love to chat with you about anything. I've only had 2 small 250 milliliter Red Bulls in 19 hours. I'm pretty proud of myself. But no, I would love to chat with you about anything. I've got a couple of questions I'd like to ask you if you want to ask me stuff.
Okay, how about you do that, and I'll come up with. I'm going to just do random animal generator. This is always a good one. Spin the wheel. It's like, okay, here we go. Dun, dun. Now, I don't know why it's showing a picture. That's not what I wanted, but we're going to work with this.
All right, what do we got?
We got, it's just the emoji. It's a bat emoji. I don't know. Draw whatever the hell you want.
All right.
Yeah, let me think. So you've been doing your, well, so like the problem is a lot of times I'll like to do like, oh, your favorite wrestler, but that one comes up a lot and I have to keep making changes because I also do the drawing. Of course, we did Bret Hart with Zoe Sager. I've done Owen Hart myself before because it's my favorite wrestler. Gosh. All right, let's do this one more time. That was not a good wheel. And then you can lead the discussion if you want because I'm failing at the generator prompt. Here we go.
The quick thing I wanted to ask you first is I think the CMLL gig is super, super cool. And I want to know what like the crowds are like. And is it anybody of a culture shock in calling those shows right in the like, because we see like Americanized lucha matches on the indie shows and stuff, but you're like right in the heart of the real deal. Is there a bit of a culture shock? And has it been like interesting? And there's a whole like crew of new talent you got to learn about. Is it daunting to call those shows? Is it fun?
I will answer that question in a second. I found a wheel just called "What Can I Draw?" and we're going with this one, whatever it says, unless it sucks.
Unless it sucks. Okay.
No, not that. Again, I don't know what some of these references are. Okay. It says, of your country, a picture that describes it. I don't really think that I could draw anything that would describe the United States of America right now.
I think right now you could draw a whole lot of things.
just a black hole. I don't know.
Not with a 10-foot pole.
Okay. This just says a chicken. Which is actually interesting to me now that I'm thinking about it, because there are lots of different kinds of chickens. If I take chicken, what are you thinking?
I'm down.
You got a visual? All right,
I have a visual. I don't know if I can make it go from what's left of my brain into my pen here.
We're drawing chickens while we talk.
All right.
Or pollo, as they say.
See, you're already immersed
Spanish.
In the vernacular.
Yes, but the CMLL gig, so essentially what I've been doing with them is they're doing a little bit of English language. No, this already doesn't look anything like a chicken has ever conceived of looking. Whatever. This happens pretty quickly. So in terms of that, I love CMLL. Like I love the product. I watch it, but with Spanish commentary, obviously, usually. They haven't done a lot of English language coverage in the past, but it's something that they've been playing around with, maybe doing some of what we ended up doing is some of the Friday night Arena Mexico shows, which are the biggest show of the week. There are several shows in the week, but those are the biggest shows of the week. There was a couple, so there was the Aniversario show that had MJF versus Mystico. There's been a couple of shows that had matches that featured some like AEW talent, Stardom talent, things where like they thought that there might be an interest in some newer fans who might be watching, like to see, for example, Mercedes Moné versus Persephone, might be interested in tuning into CMLL, but maybe don't want to pay the $35 a month for the Spanish language YouTube subscription, which is worth it, by the way. They give you everything. But maybe would want to just like try one, but it is in Spanish. Maybe so through Triller pay-per-view, we've been offering $10 single event with English commentary events, just to see, like, you know, maybe some people want to take a look at what's going on and they want to watch certain matches and they're not sure if they want to fully commit. And we're going to be expanding the English language coverage as well. But for right now, it's been that kind of has been the mentality of like special shows, big shows. So like we started with the Aniversario show. We did the show with Mercedes Moné and Persephone, the Women's International Grand Prix. We have some dates set coming up. There will be at least one in November, but I don't want to announce it yet because they haven't advertised it yet in terms of like the English coverage. But basically, like it depends on what the month is. But that's been the goal, is to kind of like expand the English language coverage, start to do a little bit more, maybe with some past cataloged things, to introduce like collections of different wrestlers. Like with some introductions.
Oh,
New
okay, that's
Japan,
that's a good idea.
yeah, like New Japan World has a little bit done there, has done a little bit too with like looking at archived content. Obviously, they have a lot more of it in English in the first place. Right now, like if we want to go back and do English language commentary on like past like anniversario shows, that's been talked about. So we would have it as like an archive. But right now, the English language live shows, that's new, and that's something we're still kind of figuring out in terms of the tech and everything like that, because again, you're adding a whole new business partner with Triller, you're adding like a whole new infrastructure, adding new commentators, new like it's an expansion in an arena like we do it in Arena Mexico, where like things are already like kind of it's CMLL's arena, like it's got an infrastructure already in there. So like when we do the commentary now, we're in this little tiny like mini ring, which is very cool.
Oh, really? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and just trying to like make sure the team is gelling, which it is. Have a lot of fun with them. But it's been such a cool experience, and I feel really really like honored isn't even the word. Like I feel really good about being trusted to kind of like
for sure
be the start of this, because again, it's something that has not been a thing for this particular company, and this particular company is the oldest active professional wrestling company in the world, and arguably the hottest professional wrestling company in the world right now in terms of business and sellouts and stuff. So for them to decide to try this, and Miguel Castro, who is one of my co-commentators when I do the English broadcast, and you'll also see him sometimes doing translation on Informa, which is the free weekly YouTube talk show, and some other media things. He's been really spearheading the project too, and has done just like amazing work just with this ongoing, I don't even say it's an expansion. It's just an expansion of the English language content. Of course, CMLL is a partner with AEW too. So there's like a lot of fans who maybe didn't know, like, let's say Hechicero or Mascara Dorada before, or Mystico, or maybe had only heard of them but hadn't seen them wrestle until they started coming on AEW shows. I'm letting you see the chicken. Don't look at the chicken. Before they're coming to AEW shows, but they actually wrestle like several times a week in Mexico. You can watch them all the time. But yeah, so it's been not just like an incredible experience professionally, but like also I had never been to Mexico City before Aniversario. I had never been to Arena Mexico, which is like one of those like venues you have to go to. And if you've ever seen like sold out venue when like Mystico's music hits, and you got a taste of it. If all you had watched was like when AEW did Grand Slam Mexico, that like was a taste of it. It is just like, it's during Aniversario, there were moments where it was because it was sold out, and they were having frequent sellouts in this venue for 14,000 people every Friday and several other times in the week. But like the volume, like I couldn't hear myself talk, and I have a microphone with a headset on, like that level of volume.
What's the actual arena like? Because the way I understand it, Arena Mexico is the only venue was specifically built for pro wrestling. So it's like a cathedral. Is it as cool inside as I think it is?
So it's very cool. So like originally it was built originally with like the area that's now the parking lot was the kind of the original arena, and they expanded it a little bit later. And they've hosted things. I mean, it's built for what is now CMLL. They host all of the CMLL shows in that part of Mexico City, but like the venue itself has so much history. There's actually a book out now that CMLL published that you can get at their gift shop in the arena. But just the history of this building in particular, there's been so much happening in this venue besides just the wrestling. I mean, they used to put ice down and have like ice-capades type shows in the venue. Yes, they had I've been lucky enough, to have some talks with Salvador Luderoth, who is now the owner, runs CML, but it's his father, his grandfather. Before that, it's been, a family business. And he's shown me, these incredible, there's posters up in the arena of things like when the circus would come to town. If you talk to some like older people who, even if they come to the Lucha Libre shows, they remember coming to this building when they were little kids, when like the circus would come to town. And they have the ice shows, and they've had, CML also had a lot of like boxing involvement as well. So they have these historic venues, but Arena Mexico in particular is like, there's so much history. There's people who, there was a person was shown on a broadcast, I think it was like last week, who has been coming to the Lucha Libre shows at that particular venue, like since it opened. She's 90 or whatever now. They've already celebrated their millionth fan in general, but this year they're thinking they're going to get to the millionth fan at Arena Mexico. And there's a whole award for that in history, which is just like incredible amounts of numbers and history. And like, it's such a, I've wrestled several times at Corcoran Hall. I've been to so many different big venues as a fan. I used to go to the ECW arena when I was too small of a child.
Yeah.
Like I've been to all these places.
Shouldn't be there.
And it's there's just something about it, I think, that like I still feel in like a way where like obviously somehow this has become my job, but like first and foremost I'm there just thinking, wow, I can't believe I'm here like watching this wrestling that I love.
That's super, super cool. I also wanted to ask you about the Juggalo, the JCW gig. That's a whole other animal, but I think equally fun, but in a bit of a different way. How did that all come about? And are you enjoying that thing? Because the Juggalos can get a little wild. Oh no, you broke the crayon.
I broke my crayon. I got a little too enthusiastic here. Yes. So I also, and it's very funny because my first trip for CML and a Juggalo tour coincided. So I actually like left the Juggalo tour to go to Mexico, and I've now done that several times and gone back and forth, which is like just the complete spectrum of what pro wrestling can be. Mm-hmm. But Juggalo Championship Wrestling is the wrestling promotion. It's 25 years old, but they've as of late come into a lot more notoriety because they've been doing some partnerships with, like, for example, GCW. Yeah. And they have a YouTube show now that is, I want to say they're getting close to 100 episodes, but it's a YouTube show with like backstage promos and all sorts of like skits and production and things like that. It's super, super well produced. It's one of the best produced wrestling TV shows out there, and it's on YouTube.
Because with JCW, when they first started it was kind of not a joke, but it was very, very tongue in cheek and fun and silly. And it's kind of morphed into like a very serious thing that I know they spend a lot of time and money on, and they travel it, or they take it with them when they go on the tours and stuff. And that's kind of like the opening act for the show, for the concerts is the wrestling. And they've really like straightened it up into, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but like they've made it more of a mainstream product that's really kind of catching on. And the thing with GCW really brought them some more notoriety. And now you're behind the desk with the Juggalos.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so essentially, if people aren't familiar with some of the older JCW stuff, yeah, it wasn't like, oh, it's a joke, but it was more like Beavis and Butthead style, like when they watch music videos, or like an MST3K kind. Like there was a lot more just like kind of like hanging out, riffing on the wrestling. Yeah, kind exactly. And Shaggy and Violent J, ICP, were kind of the commentators, were part of it. And then like now it's sort of reshaped itself, particularly under Violent J, who this is his beyond passion project. He works so hard on JCW. I mean, these are like his obviously it's in the news. He hasn't appeared, I don't think, on screen yet, but Vince Russo has been brought on board as a creative in JCW. But the like the heart and soul of all of it is Violent J. He has, it's his ideas. He's the talent scout. Like, it's all so much of what he sees for pro wrestling, and a lot of it has like a retro kind of feel to it. It has a little throwback feel to it. There's a lot of like skits and backstage segments, and the characters are very over the top. But like you were saying, the last couple tours have been in conjunction with ICP tours. So like the wrestling roster travels the majority of the same locations as an ICP concert is going to be. So like, let's say Boise, Idaho was someplace I just was. And so like, go to Boise. There's about 90 minutes or so of Juggalo Championship Wrestling that's getting filmed for YouTube distribution. And then during the day, we've been filming all the pre-tapes and things. And then after that, the ring gets torn down, that set gets taken down, and then there's still whatever the opening act is and an ICP show. So like, some of the crowds are not necessarily there for pro wrestling, but they want to check it out. So it's kind of got that like party vibe to it too. It's a very, very unique product, but some of the talent is incredible. It's been a lot of fun for me, but yeah, I got, so I do a lot of the commentary for GCW. And so when they were looking at maybe expanding, JCW was looking at, expanding some of the touring team, then Violent J got in touch with me because, I do a lot of the GCW. So I was a familiar voice, like I was, aware of what I do. And it was also during the tail end of the GCW, JCW war. So then I was able to kind of like play both sides sort of thing. And then I, went on a Juggalo tour, and it's been great. It's been super, super fun. The last tour, I was only able to do a couple days because I had to, they're very like, we're working, the reason that we have a rotating team, we're working around each other's schedules, because sometimes these are very long tours, which is incredible. Like, it's a full scale production. But yeah, anytime I'm able to join them, I'm always super happy to, and hopefully a lot more in 2026. But if you check out the shows on YouTube, they're, like I said, they're just super, super just well done, well produced. And if you really enjoyed that like Attitude Era style of pro wrestling, you'll probably like this a lot. And if you didn't particularly like that, I don't know, I think there's still some stuff that you're gonna like on this, and maybe some new wrestlers that you're not familiar with. There's a spoiler, although it's been announced because of the taping schedule, but the Outbreak, who I think they're still the new tag team champions. They are undead, and them, along with their manager Barnabas the Bizarre, it's an act unlike anything else in professional wrestling. Like, you have to check it out. I would totally advise anyone to watch any episode where the Outbreak have a match, because it's just, especially if you're into like zombies and horror, obviously there is like the dark carnival edge to anything Juggalo involved, but this is kind of next level stuff that they're doing in terms of like character and just the visual. So it's pretty cool to see. But yeah, that definitely has been different for me, but very fun.
Have you or have you not danced in a Faygo shower?
So I will say this. I thought going into this that like this would be fun, but this isn't like really my, genre of music necessarily. But, I listen to a lot of ICP, especially as I'm like prepping for this tour, and then I'm just hearing it all the time. And the fan base is like, again, that I'm not part of anything like that. That's like riding so hard for a particular music act. Yeah. And I mean, like the idea of family is very important, the chosen family within, the Juggalos, and like seeing that in real time, I'm like, oh yeah, I get this. And then the music, like it really grew on me, I will say. And so I was out there like off to the side backstage, not in like the Faygo Armageddon drop zone, let's say, But I watch the show off to the side, and I think that's a healthy compromise for me. And then everything smells like cola afterwards.
If you've never seen it, like, check it out on YouTube, because it is definitely an experience, and they spend a lot of money on that to just kind of ceremoniously dump it on the fans. Apparently, Violent J was before they even started doing music. Violent J did wrestling way back when he was a younger guy. So it's like, this isn't a fly by night kind of thing.
Oh, no.
I'm a fan, so I know some of the story.
Like I said, in terms of Violent J, like, this is, as passionate as he is about music, obviously, like, this has been, I think, his day one thing is pro wrestling. Not to shill too hard, but there's a new book out now, talking about the CMLL book, but this one is a ICP retrospective book that's out now that you can check out. I was looking at it when we had a copy of it on the tour bus, and it goes from like day one to now of the history of ICP, of Violent J, of Shaggy, and it has so much wrestling stuff in it, like their backyard days and their early like professional days around Detroit. And like, there's going to be, if you're only a wrestling fan, there's going to be a lot of stuff in this that you recognize, because they have been around and been part of pro wrestling for so long on every level. So yeah, this is not like, oh, let's put on a wrestling show. It's like, no, this is someone who has been embedded for basically his whole life.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Anything you want to talk to me about? I know my life is not nearly as exciting as yours is, but anything?
Yes, absolutely. So in terms of this 40-hour stream, I got to know, I know you do weekly content, obviously. You do a lot of other podcasting and streaming and things, but you probably already talked about this on the stream, but I want to know, like, beyond just the obvious, like, trying to raise some money, trying to raise awareness, what, like, personally made you be like, this is a thing?
Okay. Do you want to get real? Because we can get real here. Okay.
Yeah.
I have suffered with issues with, actually, if you go to my Twitter and check out my pinned tweet, there is a video that explains all this. But we'll just go front out on Front Street here. I've suffered with mental health issues pretty much my whole life, and I don't mean to speak for you, but just reading your tweets, I know that you suffer from those things as well. I don't want to speak for you, but I just understand. And a year ago, at this time, this week, things were really bad. I was having panic attacks at work. I was trying to get a leave of absence. My insurance company wasn't paying me. Everything just kind of snowballed. And I attempted suicide. I had a prescription for sleeping pills because I wasn't sleeping well, and my lady had one as well. The doctor gave us each one. I also had a prescription for Ativan for my panic attacks. So I'm blatantly honest here. If this is triggering, I apologize, but I swallowed my bottle, I swallowed her bottle, I swallowed all my Ativans. And I was hospitalized for 3 days. I don't remember. I have like 20-ish hours missing. I don't remember at all. My lady was there with me and kind of, took care of everything. I was in the hospital for 3 days, et cetera, et cetera. And as that anniversary, for lack of a better term, was coming up this weekend, I was dreading and I was upset, and I was like, I just, I don't want to think about this and yada, yada, yada. And then I kind of had the idea of the only thing I'm good at is, and I feel awkward saying this with you because you're one of the best, but wrestling commentary and talking about wrestling is the only thing I'm good at. Why don't we turn this anniversary and this negative thing, flip it positive? Let's go balls out and not do 24 hours, not do 36 hours, do 40 hours, raise money for the Edmonton Canadian Mental Health Association, which helped me, and just try to destigmatize things, especially with men, that it's okay to be not okay. It's okay to reach out for help. You don't have to suffer alone. There are organizations here that can help you. So that's basically what this is all about. So, and I have not thought about this weekend negatively since I came up with this idea, whereas I was dreading it because I was just, what I put Melissa, my girlfriend through and just everything, I didn't want to relive that. I didn't want her to relive that. So instead we're having all this fun. We're doing good. We're raising money. I'm hanging out with my friends and talking about wrestling. I get to hang out with you, which is super cool because I have so much respect for you and you have all the jobs I want. So that's basically the impetus of where this came from. And again,
yes,
I apologize, that's a triggering thing for other people. I don't want to make people upset, but that's the dealio.
But the thing is, like, it's such a huge thing, I think, to just be able to, again, you need to take a moment and appreciate that you've like come up with a strategy here, and like that you've come up with a plan here for yourself. And I think that with what you're basically saying is that without the resources that we're now supporting, like you wouldn't be in a place where like you could strategize something as cool as this stream.
To tell you the truth, I don't mean to cut you off, I apologize, but what actually ended up saving me is before I did this, I was texting with 988. And then I dropped, and that's the, you can call and or text that line. I believe it's Canada and the States. And I was texting with them, and then I just stopped replying to them. So they sent the cops to do a wellness check, and that's how I ended up in the hospital. So if I wasn't doing that, I mean, I don't want to think, knock on wood, God forbid, what would have happened. But like, it just shows that those kinds of things work. And that's why, we need to give them some money, give them some notoriety, let people know those kinds of things are out there. Because, I mean, knock on wood, if I wasn't doing that, I mean, who knows, right? And I'm not trying to be a downer, I'm just being honest.
No, I mean, we're being real here. And I mean, I think sometimes people need to understand that these services are not just something that's lip service that you hear about, that someone's like, oh, if you, it's okay to not be okay. You can just call this number. And you're like, yeah, I bet I can. But like, no, you're explaining that this is a real thing and it really helped you and it can help other people. And I think sometimes people need to know that in order to encourage them in their support. And so I think I just saw a number go by. Next goal is 3,000, right?
Yeah, I'm at, I set to $1,250 as my goal because I didn't really know how this was going to go. So I didn't want to set a big goal and not reach it and look foolish.
Okay, because I'm down here and we're over 2,000. So it feels like you already beat your goal halfway through.
$1,060. So my new goal is 3,000. So my big worry was that no one's going to watch, and I'm going to be sitting here for 40 hours by myself. No one's going to donate. All my friends have come and hung out with me, and joined the stream, and it's been super fun. And people are donating, and I'm seeing the little thing. I got a little bell here that I ding every time we get a donation. So yeah, it's been the opposite of what I feared and everything that I've wanted it to be so far. I was dragging a little bit after the first 10 hours last night. I was like, but I went outside. It's cold here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada now. So slap myself around a little bit. I'm drinking plenty of water, lots of fruit for natural sugars, and we're rolling. We're good.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think you said it was after 10 hours. So maybe you just had to get over that initial hump and now you're just going.
It's the nighttime, I think, is the rough part.
And you do a long drive, but the sun comes up and you're like, all right, I can keep going.
We're in the home stretch.
Yeah, during the world's longest wrestling match stream that occurred recently with Mystery Wrestling, there were some moments when I would pop in and watch it where it was like, oh, everyone's flagging, what's going to happen next? And then all of a sudden, everyone will be back. So
I have a story about that actually, because I inadvertently pissed off Evil Uno. I decided to do, when I heard they were doing that, I decided to do a grassroots campaign. And at an LPW show, I got the mic right before intermission, and I talked into the camera, and I said, Evil Uno, I called Michael Richard Blaze's 8-hour wrestling match. I want to call your whole deal, 24 hours. And I put it out in the world, and then I had all our fans and everybody tweet. And I never heard anything back, so I dropped him an email. And he replied to it saying that wasn't really the right way to go about it. And I think I kind of pissed him off. And I meant no harm. I meant just respect. And I was trying to do like a grassroots thing. So I learned a lesson to just send an email and be a normal person. But I thought I was doing something kind of cool and fun. So I think I made not a friend with. I think I made not a friend with Evil Uno. So I apologize to him.
Maybe you caught him at an especially evil time. Maybe you caught him.
Fair enough.
But like, it's like impossible in our line of work, especially like pro wrestling in general, not just broadcasting. It's always impossible to know like what is the best way to like go about promoting myself. And like, think about, okay, for example, you have so many people who are like constantly dragging Matt Cardona, right? And that like, oh, he's an internet wrestler and like this and this and this and this. And like, well, I don't know. I feel like that kind of grassroots sort of push that he got behind himself. He was on SmackDown last night. Like,
absolutely. Let's look at Matt Cardona's bank account. Look at mine.
Right? Like you never know. Like it's a matter of like putting yourself out there too. And well, for example, you're kind of putting yourself out there right now with 40 hours of streaming.
Yeah, fair.
I mean,
like if I don't advocate for myself, who's going to advocate for me? So I thought I would try that. And it wasn't the right way to approach him, I guess. So I apologize to him, but their thing was a success and I was happy for them. And I threw them a donation. So yeah.
Yes, and like I think these long like marathon streams, I don't know. I grew up always a fan of watching like the PBS telethon and stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And I don't know. I like a variety show kind of presentation. So I think that these long streams are great no matter what the format is. I'm trying to think. I'm not sure what the longest stream I ever did was. I'm sure it was like COVID era because at the time Speedball and I were in different countries. So we would stream a lot. And sometimes we would just like green screen each other into like each other's streams to do them together. Other times we would do individual streams. And I'm certain that one of those I did a super, super long one. But like by super, super long, I mean like 6 hours, not 40. This is bananas.
Here we are. Yeah, a lot of my friends are like, "You're dumb for doing this," but I'm like, you know what? I may be dumb, but I'm gonna have some fun.
Well, and also, like it's a commitment. Sometimes you just gotta. There's something to be said about like just seeing if you can actually do something that I think most people can understand is very satisfying. And I gotta say, despite being a alleged professional athlete for like a decade of my life, I'm not super into like I don't want to run a marathon.
Yeah.
I understand the satisfaction of like, can I do that? Let me push myself. Not really interested in the physical aspect of like endurance. But something like this, which has a physical aspect of it, I think can be very satisfying. And I don't know. I think it's cool.
already joking with some of the guys that if this is a success, which it's looking like it's going to be, next year I do 48.
I mean, yeah, and then like again, once you've got the solid 48 down, do you just be like, all right, we're good, or do you want to push it to like let's do 50, a nice round number, nice and even?
I don't know how safe and healthy that is, especially for me. I'm getting a little bit older now. I need my beauty rest, so we'll see what happens. But I'm already sorry.
Could mute the camera and take a little nap while some like soothing music plays. I don't know.
Let somebody else shoulder some of the load. But yeah, I'm already thinking about next year already, even just doing the same thing because this has been successful and it's been a really, really healthy thing for me. So, I mean, most importantly, it's making me feel much better about a situation. So I'm down to do it again.
What time are you ending the stream? Like what time does it end for you?
Okay, so I started, this is mountain time just because of where we live. So I started at 10 o'clock p.m. mountain time, which is midnight your time.
It was midnight for us, yeah.
And I end at 2 o'clock p.m. tomorrow, which is 4 o'clock your time.
Okay. So,
and then I have Monday off of the shoot job, and then I'm back to my normal life. And we have a show. LPW's got a show on that weekend.
Yes, hell yes. Well, so ending at 2 o'clock, I think actually makes a lot of sense because then you get to finish like in the daytime.
Yeah.
So you're going to be more energized in the daytime. Like, I don't know. I think that makes a lot of sense. Plus to hit the 40 hours. But yeah, starting overnight was probably a little rough, I would think.
I mean, so I did research with the people who do those like video game ones for Extra Life and what have you. I don't know if they have Extra Life in the States, but they say to kind of start and get that first night over with as soon as you can. So that's kind of why I started so late. But
I don't know. I guess like I guess it doesn't make sense. I'm thinking of like overnight drives, and that like once you get through like the overnight part of it, it's always easier.
Fair.
Did you finish your chicken? I just looked at the time. We gotta show the drawings.
I finished my chicken. Looks more like a bird than a chicken, but I can unveil if you'd like to see.
Well, so usually I show mine first.
Oh, okay.
And then I find out how hard the guest has fucked on me when they said that they weren't good at drawing and then draw something really good. Because that has happened many times. All right.
Well, my chicken does not look like a chicken, but it does look like a bird.
Well, chickens famously are birds.
I mean, okay, fair enough. Okay. I
think we'll see. So here we go. So I went with like your traditional sort of white hen type of chicken. I don't know. I drew the body first and then realized that wasn't right. So it doesn't have a neck at all. And then it also has like a very lizard-like eye in the side of its head, which is not where that goes. But I mean, maybe like if we think dinosaurs and birds and their relation, it could be like it's a dinosaur-like thing. It's got the wrong type of beak, and then I wasn't really sure how many lumps this thing gets, but so I drew a bunch. And then I was like, oh, well, it's looking a little bare. Let's draw the classic chick coming out of an egg.
There you go.
I don't know. So okay, it was fine, and then I was like, let's put wings on it. It'd be like, yay! But the wings are too big, and now it just looks scary. And if you look proportionately, it's a little too big to have come out of this particular chicken. So that's mine. What do you got?
If we get to $5,000, I'll get that tattooed on me. How do we feel about that?
Perfect.
All right, here's my bird that is not a chicken. It's more of a bird.
Okay, so I see the head of yours is way closer to a chicken. So now let me pull up. Hold on. Chicken. So here we go. So this is. The fuck? Okay. So I'm on the some website, and under the heading care and feeding of meat birds.
Meat birds?
Like, meat birds, yeah. So
it's a good name for a band.
Meat birds. This is kind of what I was going for. I forgot about the tail. Yours looks a lot more like a chicken head-wise. The body is.
Yeah, it's like a chicken that's really thin.
She's a skinny legend, I will say that. But I think, honestly, yours looks a lot more realistic than mine does.
But there's not a lot of meat on that bone. That's not much of a meat bird, you know?
Not much of a meat bird.
Oh, fabulous.
I don't know. I love chickens. I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat chicken. I don't consider them to be a meat bird. They're more of a friend bird for me. But like anytime like you're at like a farm type situation, I feel like I'm saying this as if it comes up a lot, but like, you know, if there's chickens around, or sometimes they'll find chickens roaming in the streets, maybe not in Edmonton, but some places there's chickens.
Not really.
And like, I always thought like, in terms of farm animals, a pig definitely could be a friend, but I think a chicken is an underrated, perhaps friend animal. I think people think of them too much as meat birds. I guess backyard chicken farming has become more popular.
I think that's fairly common in certain areas, not around here, unfortunately, but like, yeah.
I mean, sad news. The town that Mike and I just moved to does not allow backyard chicken, so I will not be hosting my own coop
If that option was available, would you get a backyard chicken if that option was available?
So here's the thing. I talk a big talk. And I think that maybe my fatal flaw is my full belief that I could manage like a backyard farm of my own, which like I cannot. That is not a thing that I could do. But I like the idea of the backyard chicken. The same way I like the idea of having a dog, but we don't have a dog because we're home 2 days a month.
Yeah, you're
but someday, maybe. Maybe.
Sorry, let us know where we can find you. I know you've got a million gigs coming up, so give us the rundown of the Veda Scott Tour of Dominance.
So
that's an album by Meatbird.
So my Twitter account is @it's Veda Time, and I kind of put everything on there still, even though it's kind of a wasteland out there. But you know, tomorrow I'm local in New Jersey. I'm actually doing some backstage and social media interviews, which is a thing I really, really enjoy doing and how I got my start in pro wrestling, but I don't get the chance to do all that often anymore. So I'm pumped for that. And then next week, right now, I can say that I'm doing, there's a GCW show at the American Dream, not mall, shopping and retail complex. They don't like to call them malls anymore. It's really outdated, apparently. But this is it's basically like a giant super mall. Don't tell them I said that. We got wrestling in the mall.
Yeah, we did that. LPW did that at West Edmonton Mall a couple of summers ago, and I watched the last American Dream. I watch every GCW show. I'm a big fan of the product, but yeah, I like that the last show they did there. So wasn't that the one where Ricky Starks came down the escalator at the last mall show? That's fabulous.
Yeah, that really
shopping bags with him and stuff.
Yeah, so Ricky Starks made his big appearance, and then I think he was no longer available for independent wrestling shows very shortly after that.
Yes, sir.
Good to see you, Ricky. And then there's a JCW show on Sunday, but this is a Jersey Championship Wrestling, not Juggalo Championship Wrestling. And this one airs free on the GCW YouTube. And then the rest of the month, hopefully Mike and I can start streaming again soon once we get our actual streaming setup done. This works okay, but it's not a permanent installation. Fair. And I've got should be heading back to Mexico at least one of the next 2 Fridays, and the WrestleCade, the wrestling convention in North Carolina. I'll be there, and then after that, I don't know. It's December. That feels far away. It's not.
Have you got WrestleMania week bookings yet, or is it too early for someone like you, or do they come to you right away?
I mean, I have.
I'm not in demand, so I don't know what it's like to be in demand.
So like, there's kind of some established like companies that I work with, so like whatever shows they run, we'll try to figure that out. But I don't think for the most part many of the I don't necessarily know that anyone outside of like the like pillar like GCW
Collective and WrestleCon, which is kind of like, together this year.
Yeah, and I don't know how many like other promotions within that umbrella have like signed on. None of them have been announced yet. So I don't know. I am excited to see how this WrestleCon, GCW Collective, everything together plays out. I usually do the WrestleCon Super Show commentary, but in terms of the actual convention, I haven't even like been able to step inside it for the past couple years, because it's usually it's not just a separate building. It's usually a different part of town than the Collective, and it's just everything is too spread out. So having it all in one will actually be kind of nice. And I think as far as a fan experience, is probably going to be a little bit better too. But we'll see. Maybe
fabulous. Right on.
Yes.
All right, I got to get ready for the next block here and take myself out for a walk. I know your time is at a premium, and I am a massive nobody. So I really, really, really appreciate you coming on here and hanging out with me. And I'm hoping that one day you can make your way back here to Edmonton and we can work together again, because I very much enjoyed calling those 2 shows with you a lot. I really, really like having you on the mic.
We have fun. Yes, I definitely have to get back out there. I might wait till after the winter, because
you don't want to be around here during those times.
Air travel is messed up enough. right
Fair.
now in
That's
the
true.
United States. So, but maybe after the winter, I would love to come back. I do love Edmonton too, and I love wrestling, no pun intended. All right, good luck with the rest of the stream, and y'all, I better see those numbers up, okay? I'll be checking.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. I'm going to run a block of commercials here while we get ready for my girlfriend to take on Pluggo's wife in wrestling trivia. That's going to be fabulous. And Edmonton does love you, Veda.
Bye.
Thank you so much.